Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You are going to listen to a conversation between camper who wants to make reservation at a campsite and a campsite manager. First, you have some time to read questions 1 to 6.
Hello, is that the Goodnight Camping and Caravan Park?
Yes, it is. How can I help?
Well, I need to know more about your facilities.
Okay, we have over 80 pitches, including 20 for caravans. The site has a large kitchen and dining area, toilet and shower facilities, also a laundrette and electricity points.
A simple grass pitch is fine, but can I bring a dog?
Yes, this is a dog-friendly site. You can bring up to 2 dogs per pitch, free of charge. What else would you like to know?
Are campfires and barbecues allowed?
Yes, they are, but only on the riverbank, away from the tents.
Well, do I need to book in advance or can we just turn up?
You don't need to make a reservation, but we do recommend it for bank holiday weekends, and also for large groups of 20 or more.
Well, there are only 4 of us, but I'd like to go ahead and book anyway. Do I book over the phone or online?
The easiest way is via the website.
Right. Do you accept credit cards?
Yes, we accept credit cards, debit cards and PayPal. If you prefer not to pay online, you can make a booking by forwarding a cheque for £20, enclosing details of the dates you want and the number of pitches you need. I'm afraid we cannot refund the deposit if you cancel.
And what was the tariff again, please? I mean per night.
Oh yes, sorry, I forget that. It's £8 per head per night, which includes access to all the facilities.
Okay, well that seems straightforward enough. Now, can you supply firewood?
Yes, we do. It's £3 per night, or you can bring your own.
Right. All I need now is your web page address.
Do you have a pen and paper to take down the webpage details?
Yes, I'm ready.
Our website is www.goodnightpark.uk.com, with Goodnight Park written as one word. Have you got that?
Yes, thanks.
Now you have some time to read questions 7 to 10.
Oh, I almost forgot. Can you tell me the dates when the park is open, please?
Right, we open for the summer season on the 1st of June and close on the last day of September.
And can we arrive at any time of day?
You need to call in at the reception office between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. and if you've booked online, you can turn up as late as 9:30 in the evening.
Well, that's useful to know. We'll be travelling by coach and then by bus. We hope to arrive by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but we could be delayed by traffic. Looking at the map, it's a journey of at least 100 miles.
Where did you say you were travelling from?
It's Chester. Do you know it?
Not very well, but I think you'll use the M5 motorway for most of the journey.
OK, there's just one last thing, really. Can I have the postcode and the GPS coordinates of the park, if possible, please?
Well, I don't have the GPS coordinates to hand, but they are on the website. The postcode is GL2 7JN. If you put it into a sat-nav, it will get you to within 200 metres of the park.
OK, I'll do that. It's a Gloucester postcode, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Fine. I have all the information I need. I'll book online later today. Thanks for your help. Hope to see you in a few weeks. Bye for now.
See you when you arrive. Bye.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You will hear volunteer coordinator speaking to group of conservation volunteers about the program of work for weekend. First, you have some time to read questions 11 to 17.
Hi everyone. It's great to see so many new volunteers here this weekend. We have a wide variety of outdoor work planned, all aimed at improving the countryside and protecting the natural habitat. Don't worry if you haven't done this type of work before, because we'll show you exactly what to do. Also, we've got Dave Pritchard with us today, who'll help us to repair the dry stone walls and paths. Now, I must point out that some of the work is quite difficult and may not be suitable for everyone, so we've decided to split the work into 3 levels of difficulty. OK, grades 1, 2 and 3. Grade 1 is light work, grade 2 is moderate work, and grade 3 is heavy work. I hope that makes sense to everyone. You can always switch groups if you're not happy. OK, we need some volunteers to help to clear away Himalayan balsam. It's one of several species here that are not native to this country. It looks like bamboo. This is grade 1 work, so it only needs a low level of fitness. Can I have a show of hands for this job, please? Almost anyone can do this work. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. OK, that's 5 people for clearing bamboo. Is there anyone else? No? Now, litter and rubbish are a major problem in this area. Tidying it up will take a moderate amount of effort. The main task is litter picking, and if there is enough time, clearing vegetation from the paths. Do I have 2 volunteers, please? Right, it's that lady there and the man with the hat. Thank you. Remember, this is grade 2 work. That requires an average level of fitness. Are you okay with that? Right, the rest of the group can help with fencing, walling, and access paths. Now, fencing is grade 2 work, but building walls is heavy, grade 3 work. You will need to be very fit to do grade 3 work, and you'll also need to be wearing protective footwear, which means steel-toe boots, not just any old shoes. If you don't have the right boots, then you'll have to help with the fencing and paths. We have 10 people left, so how many are happy to do the stone walling? Right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count 6. Please be careful and work at a steady pace. You'll need to save some energy for the tree planting tomorrow. Are there any questions? No? Then let's split into our groups and make the most of the fine weather. We'll stop at 11 o'clock for a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Now you have some time to read questions 18 to 20.
Hi, I'm Dave and I'll be helping you repair this stretch of dry stone wall today. There are 6 volunteers, so if we can split into 3 groups of 2 people, that would be helpful. That gives us 2 people working at each end of the wall and 2 people working in the middle. Now we don't want to see one end of the wall going up quicker than the other. It's important to keep the wall level as it goes up, otherwise we'll end up with a problem in the middle. The largest rocks form the base of the wall, which is helpful because we don't have to lift them too far, but we'll also keep a few of the bigger ones for higher up. OK, if you look at this damaged section of wall, you can see that it's really 2 walls with a gap in between. The gap in the centre is filled with the smallest stones. These have a rounded shape and are known as hearting or packing stones. Don't just throw them into the wall. Place these packing stones carefully into the gap because they help to keep the other stones in place. The larger, long stones, like this one here, should be placed across the full width of the wall, from one face to the other. For appearance sake, try to keep the stones with the best looking faces for the outside of the wall. Right, let's clear away some of these fallen stones so we don't trip over them, and then get started.
The end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You will hear 2 students talking to their professor about the Science and Technology Festival they attended.
First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
Hi, Dylan. Hi, Tanya. Thanks for coming to see me. I'm very interested to hear what you thought about the Science and Technology Festival.
Well, we're both very pleased we went.
Glad to hear it. Was there anything you both found especially useful?
Yes, definitely. I saw at least 2 lectures that directly relate to the subjects I'm studying in this first semester. I already feel a little more prepared than I did last week.
There wasn't anything that had the same effect on me, but that wasn't my only focus. I saw the festival as a chance to explore new ideas and other subject areas, so I also tried to attend some lectures that looked interesting rather than just the ones I thought would only be relevant to my course.
I'm glad I didn't do that. I get too stressed when I don't concentrate on one thing. But wasn't it great to be able to wander around the university and get a better idea of where everything is?
Well, I certainly feel more confident now I've explored the area a bit more. And I also found it very easy to meet people who share the same interests as me. When I was waiting for some of the lectures to start, I just got talking to whoever was sitting next to me.
I was too busy going through my notes to do that. I have to say, going to so many lectures in a short space of time has really helped me to improve one area of study, my note-taking technique.
I wasn't so sure about that originally, but looking at my notes again this morning, I could see how they got better as the week went on.
I'm glad the week was of use to you. It seems to change focus annually. Sometimes the emphasis is more on science, sometimes on technology, but there was an excellent balance this time. It really brings these areas of study and research to the attention of the wider world, and, for me, that's the primary reason the festival exists. You may have noticed when you were there that there were a number of university information stands set up around the campus. Did you see the free reference booklets that they were giving out?
No. I assumed the stands were there to provide people with directions to each talk.
Well, their aim was to encourage everyone to read some of the latest studies coming out of our labs and classrooms. Many of the lecturers at the festival actually wrote the studies that were listed. So the talk and the booklets together are a great introduction to their work for anyone who attended. But the staff were certainly happy to point people in the right direction if it was needed.
I have to admit it was quite confusing trying to follow some of the signs around the campus telling us where to go. So we used the map and the festival guidebook to find our way around. It was great for that. And although one or two of the talks actually started at different times to what was printed on the page, one other thing I did like about the guidebook was that it wasn't full of adverts.
Oh, I agree. But that's always the case with festivals now. I don't mind that if it means that the festival is free to enter, as more and more of them are these days. And even if there is a fee for admission, the festival organisers hardly make any money from that, though they do tend to put the price of entry up each year. They have to make money to run the festival somehow, so it makes sense to get the majority of that through ads.
That's a fair point.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 27 to 30.
So what next? Do you still want to write something for the department website?
Oh, definitely. Can you give us some advice on how we do that?
Well, it's a simple process, but it can mean a lot of work. First, you need to make sure that you have fully discussed and compiled the notes you made during the festival. For the next step, I would recommend selecting a set number of principal theories that generate the most ideas and summarise those. 4 is probably the ideal number. Then you'll need to go to the website and go through what people have written before. These posts will help you to understand which style seems most appropriate, how academic in tone you need to be, or how informal, and so on. And as this is going to be a joint project, it's really important to make sure that you both come to a joint decision about the best way to divide up the workload. Believe me, arguments can happen. Further to that, you should also agree on exactly when you're aiming to publish it, so establish a deadline. Make sure you don't go past the agreed date, as it will become more difficult to finish if you do. Then, after all this is completed, you're ready to upload your summary and any other documents and post them onto the department website.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Professor Dickens. Hopefully we can come back to you if we need any more help.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear part of a lecture about the history of locks. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back as we continue our lecture series on currency from ancient times to the modern day. For today's talk, we're going to discuss a need that emerged from an age-old negative side to human nature. When wealth is portable, particularly when it can be easily compressed into thousands of individual items of coinage, it inevitably becomes more attractive to a certain group of people. Even in ancient times, the wealthy, people of status, traders and so on, realized that to discourage thieves, their money would need to be either hidden or protected, and to do that they had a choice. They could either keep their riches safe by keeping them in temples, which were guarded 24 hours a day, or they could find a way to store their assets somewhere closer to home, where access was more convenient. And so the ancient Egyptians came up with a locking device. This was a mechanism similar to what is known today as a deadbolt that required the insertion of a key. The key operated a series of pins and allowed a long metal bolt to be withdrawn from its locking position, which in turn gave the owner access to their valuables. How long ago did this happen? We're a little vague on this, but definitely at some point later than 4000 BC. Since the Egyptians wanted their locks to be very strong, these locks suffered from one notable problem: their size. Some of the bigger examples we have found are over 1/2 metre long and weigh around 30 kilos. The Romans later adapted these Egyptian locks to make them more functional and available for use in regular homes. They took the Egyptians' designs, made them smaller, and added their own inspired invention, one that enabled them to create a more sophisticated locking system: steel springs. One negative side effect they did suffer from was that by using a spring instead of a bolt, it was relatively easy for a particularly dedicated and powerful thief to damage or remove the lock using brute force. However, the Roman locking mechanisms made it difficult to actually force the lock open, thanks to their precise construction. For their time, it's hard not to be impressed by such technology. The examples we have talked about so far are key-based locks, but next I'd like to look at a variation on this, the combination lock. The combination lock is the basis of many modern safes. As we will see, the combination lock shares many features of those used by the Egyptians and Romans. For the purposes of this explanation, I'll begin by looking at a combination padlock, which is easy to grasp. One of the most important aspects of any locking system is protecting the lock itself. In the case of the padlock, there's a secure outer casing to protect the delicate lock mechanism inside. This casing is usually constructed from a hard metal such as brass. Having this strong outer casing prevents a potential thief from simply breaking the padlock with a tool such as a hammer. The main movable part of the lock, the part which opens and closes, is a strong bar often made of reinforced or galvanized steel. As you can see, the bar is curved, almost U-shaped, but much longer on one side. At the end of this longer side is a metal spring, which is pushed down when the padlock is locked. So how is a combination lock unlocked? The metal bar has 4 pins on it, which prevent it from being opened. However, each of the pins can be released by moving a combination dial. These are circular and numbered from 0 to 9. Move all the dials into the correct position and the spring is released, forcing the lock to open. Now, that is a very simple combination lock. The lock of a safe, on the other hand...
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.